Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. Formerly Executive Crizel Mago flip-flopped at the lower house on her initial admission at the Senate of the firm's delivery of damaged face shields to the Health Department. Mago testified this morning before members of the lower house after being placed under protective custody. Earlier at the Senate, Mago dropped damning revelations about the firm's supposed tampering with the expiration dates of face shields sold to the government. After being incommunicado at the Senate, Mago resurfaced at the lower house, claiming that she was only threatened and pressured to make her initial statement before senators. She then denied that the firm ever, quote, swindled the government, as she earlier admitted, and claims now that the face shields sold were not expired or substandard.
The face shields were not expired and substandard. And I've mentioned in my opening statement that the damaged face shields were immediately segregated for proper disposal po.
It's different from the opening of the statements that you made last September 24. So, are you ready to be charged with perjury just in case? Are you ready to defend yourself just in case somebody charges you with perjury?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
We are halfway through day 4 for the filing of COCs. To give us the lowdown of notable personalities who have formalized their candidacies today, we have Greg Gregorio, reporting live from Sofitel in Pasay City. Greg, good afternoon. How's day 4 of the COC filing so far?
Good afternoon, Charles. Manila Mayor Isko Moreno and Dr. Willie Ong have already filed their respective certificates of candidacy for presidency and vice presidency in the upcoming polls. Moreno said he wants to address the divisiveness in the country amidst all of the issues confronting us, including the pandemic. He says the division between political factions is causing the stunting of our economy right in the middle of a health crisis. As people call him the scavenger turned celebrity turned politician, Moreno vows to work with anyone from any other party should he win in the 2022 elections. But he appealed to the public to consider electing him and his running mate, Dr. Willie Ong, as a package. For his part, Dr. Willie Ong said he learned a lot after his unfortunate senatorial run back in the 2019 midterm polls. He hopes that their campaign with Mayor Isko would help him get a better outcome compared to the past election, noting that he has been working with Moreno on how they could help the public overcome the COVID-19 pandemic. Today is the 4th day of COC filing for the national positions here at the Harbor Garden Tent in Sofitel Hotel in Pasay City. Moreno is now among the 14 presidential aspirants so far, while Ong is the 5th who have filed COC for vice presidency. Charles, meanwhile, in relation to the 30-day extension of the voters' registration as signed into law by President Duterte last week, COMELEC Commissioner Antonio Cos said this would definitely make an impact to their tight preparations for the upcoming polls, noting or factoring in the possible impact of the pandemic as well as the typhoons. But Commissioner Co emphasized that they no longer complain, as he believes COMELEC would still be able to push through a successful elections. Charles?
Thanks for that, Greg. That was Greg Gregorio reporting live from Pasay City. Former President and ex-House Speaker Gloria Macapagal Arroyo has filed her certificate of candidacy for a comeback at the lower house. This was confirmed by Gloria's son and Pampanga Representative Juan Miguel Arroyo. Congressman Arroyo says her mother filed her COC on Friday in a bid to become the next representative of Pampanga's 2nd District. Meanwhile, current House Speaker Lord Alan Velasco is looking to run again as Congressman of Marinduque under PDP Laban. COVID-19 cases continue to decline in NCR Plus areas, the rest of Luzon, and even in Mindanao. However, the Health Department says that the National Hospital utilization rate is still high at 73%. To discuss this as well as other issues raised during today's health briefing, we have Jen Calimon. She's now joining us live from Malabon. Good afternoon, Jen. Could you tell us which areas are still classified as higher risk for COVID-19?
Yes, you're right, Charles. As you said, our national ICU utilization rate remains at high risk at 73% utilization. 6 regions are at high risk cases classification. These are CAR, Regions 2, 9, 5, Caraga region, and BARM. And there are other regions with high risk with either high-risk beds or ICU utilization. So these are regions 4B, 4A, NCR, regions 3, 11, and region 10. But nationally, Charles, we are at moderate risk classification with negative 2-week growth rate at negative 21% and high risk average daily attack rate at 14.73 cases every 100,000 individuals, which is lower compared to 18.60 in the past 3 to 4 weeks, Charles.
Right. Could you tell us why the government has still not rolled out booster shots even for healthcare workers?
Yes, Charles. Yusek Vergere of the DOH reiterates that there is no sufficient evidence that booster shots will 100% protect us from the virus. That's why they're still not recommending it. Aside from this, she said that their focus now is equity. She insists that it is more important to vaccinate first those who haven't been vaccinated, even just for first dose, so that a large number of people can have protection against the virus, Charles.
Jen, do we have any updates on the scheduled pediatric vaccinations?
Charles, the pilot implementation will push through on October 15 as planned, but the DOH did not disclose the locations included in the pilot implementation. Vergere said that only youths with comorbidities can have the vaccine as long as they have an informed consent from their parents and medical clearance from their doctors. Charles?
Right, Jen, let's talk about this possible breakthrough in COVID-19 treatment. Are there any plans to purchase Merck's experimental COVID-19 pill?
Charles Vergere said that there is an ongoing clinical trial made by the Lung Center of the Philippines for this drug, which is a good thing because we can have more access to this kind of drugs. But if this will be a game changer, Vergere said that our national government will try to position itself to have better access to this kind of drugs in the international market. Charles?
Right, Jen, could you give us the latest on this COVID Kaya issue? When do authorities think this will be resolved?
Well, Charles, this has been the problem of the Department of Health for the past 3 weeks. That's why they are having delays in giving case updates every day. But the agency said that they are now working closely with DICT to resolve this issue, and they are thinking of other options or remedy should this problem continues to arise.
Thanks for that, Jen. That was Jen Calimon reporting live from Malabon. Feeling stressed lately? A bit of decluttering can help. And the good news is there's an app that can help you with this. Faith Del Mundo with the report.
30-year-old Reyes Del Rosario is reviewing for the bar exam, but he is having a hard time focusing because he sees the clutter around him. He only recently transferred to a 30-square-meter condominium in BGC, and his place remains unorganized, causing him anxiety.
I get so distracted, especially pag nag-aaral ako. I want everything to be organized. Sobrang makalat naman to. So hindi ka makakapag-aral, marami kang isipin, tapos instead of magpo-focus ka, isipin mo, lilinisin ko ba to? Saan ko itatago yung gamit? Kasi nga, very small space yung condo. So saan ko pwede itong itago? Wala naman storage area dito.
That is why he decided to let go of his old items. Good thing he discovered the Locket app. The application helped him give away his old things and receive a plant in return.
Beloved items from you. In return, you get a plant.
According to the Locket team, they decided to have a Libre Cycle event to help the community, the environment, and those who need to declutter. Pre-loved items are sold for 20 pesos each, and 100% of the proceeds will go to medical assistance in Taguig City.
Ang kailangan lang is for those who wants to declutter, they just need to give us their 3 pre-loved items, and under the category of women's clothes, women's accessories, and for kids and toddlers, talaga ang gusto namin tulungan dito is yung mga mommies na nakikita nila yung mga, and also din pala for home. So ano yung mga gamit sa bahay na kailangan na talaga nilang i-dispose pero wala silang mapaglagyan or magawang way to declutter. So they just have to provide us 3 pre-love items.
It is easy to be part of the Libre Cycle event. All one has to do is download the Locket app that is available for free through Google Play or Apple App Store. Register an account and set a meetup with the Locket team for the turnover of your items. For now, however, Locket services are only available in BGC. Experts say decluttering can be helpful for people with anxiety. Psychologist Francine Bofill admits a messy place can be overwhelming, but this can be avoided by scheduling.
Try to fix your schedule. Kailan ka mag-aayos? Huwag mo siyang isabay kasi baka maubos yung energy mo sa pag-aayos. Start small. What I would usually say is, don't aim na lahat malinis in one day. It has to start small kasi aside also from the physical exhaustion, especially if you're going to fix anything that's sentimental to you, you have to identify it. You have to say, this is important to me, I can let go of this, someone can use it. You're going to categorize pa. So if you're studying for long term, or let's say for example, those who are going to go for online classes or who are working from home, maging intentional, pagplanuhan. No? Halimbawa, this week, itong side mo ng ito, next week, ito naman, depends on your schedule. So that's my tip. Huwag palakihan, nakakaubos ng energy.
But she advised if the anxiety is affecting daily routines, it is better to consult professionals.
Anxiety, as I've mentioned, is always normal. But when there is excessive response already, then that is no longer normal. That's how we define the anxiety disorder. Now, to name or to provide you labels on this thing, marami tayong naiisip, no? Others, yung very quick for others, OCD, 'di ba? Obsessive compulsive. Yan, ako hindi mapakali talaga, kailangan everything in order. Tapos kanina may na-mention tayo, pag masyado ka maraming gamit, pwede ka rin maging hoarder, no? Dami. Tapos pwede ka rin na yung GAD ka mismo, talagang lahat na anxious ka, so can no longer do what you are supposed to do because you're so preoccupied with all of these things. Now, your other question is, should they consult a professional? Of course, let's normalize. Consulting a professional doesn't mean you are, or something is wrong with you. But if it is bothering you and it is not something you can open up with people you trust, there's nothing wrong to consult. Kasi malaking factor na nakikita ko dyan with the example that you've given me is the one reviewing.
For News 5, Faith Del Mundo, we are One News.
Here's a quick look at some of today's headlines. Vice President Leni Robredo's camp says she will announce her decision on whether or not she will run for president before October 8. Magnolia and TNT score their first semifinals win in the 2021 PBA Philippine Cup. And Cebuana beauty queen Tracy Maureen Perez is the new Miss World Philippines. And those are the top stories at this hour. Join us later at 2 p.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Just register for a free account at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.